Hello, this is Creator A, which is my nickname, and this is the Green Flame Creator Commentary. I'll be describing how I made stuff and criticizing this awful movie. Have fun listening to me hate my own project. Okay, so this is the beginning of the movie. These characters are, well, one, Mephiles. Everyone should know who that is if you're an actual Sonic fan. The other one is um, a stupid fan character that my friend made up. I think his name is like King Merlin, I think. Something like that, yeah. He's very important to the main lore of the thing, except due to the way that the story was written and the way the thing was animated, we don't get to know anything about him. So, have fun with that. That's probably the first criticism I just have about this. Here, this is when he gets shot by the thing. He was supposed to die, but he didn't. He was supposed to. This green character here, his name is Eston. He's also made up by the same person. He's probably my least favorite thing ever, but he's not as bad as King Merlin, let's just say. What was it? The creator of him really wanted him to go super, so here he does. Here he goes. He goes super. And for some reason, Mephiles is struggling against this actual weakling. No, not like seriously. He's supposed to be super weak. I just wanted to give the creator like hope that his OC was actually powerful. So here in this scene, Mephiles clones himself, and it's kind of obvious which one's the real clone. I was trying to reference the original game, because you know how you could kind of tell which one's the real clone and which one isn't in the original 06? Then one of the characters that I actually like, named Kodas, appears. Yeah, his name's Kodas. And then this other villain named, what was it? I think his name is Slashes. Yeah, Slashes. I don't remember any of the names because it's been a while, but that supposedly causes Eston to go dark, and this is where the animation gets like somehow way worse. And Mephiles just leaves just cause I guess, I don't know. So then what was it? He thinks that Slashes could deal with him, and I don't know. I guess he was wrong. See, I slowed down the footage so that I could talk, but this fight scene is so long and so slow. It's like horrible. So then Slices begins to show off some of his abilities, which are just weirdly colored Dragon Ball Z energy attacks. What was it? I was doing this, half of this entire thing on my phone. So, let's just say I had limited effects. And on my iPad, it's like way better because I have way more stuff. Something I didn't say earlier is that the Chaos Emeralds and the fake emeralds that you saw earlier were actually made by me. I had to actually make them from scratch because of how like weird my phone was at the time. So yeah, so I couldn't just download the thing from the Sticknuts website. In case whoever somehow doesn't know, this whole thing was animated on this thing called Sticknuts, and I used the app CapCut to put it all together. See, these fake emeralds, a little quick thing. There's this game on Roblox called Crossover Sonic, something like that, Crossover Sonic RP, and I like the idea of the fake emeralds being skinny and weird, so I kind of made those to reference the game. And for some reason, I also just thought that's how they looked for a long time until I actually watched, Sonic X. So then we have Slashes, the villain, turn some sort of transformation. I think it's supposed to be super, and it doesn't have a specific name. But I tried making him like super unique, or I tried to make him different by giving him a strange color aura. So he kind of just looks weird. But it's fine. I think the gray color looks fine. His creator asked specifically for gray. I know I keep saying creator, I meant person, or, well, you know what I mean, creator. Another thing that, like, dark black and purple stuff that just showed up underneath Dark Eston is Mephiles, in case that wasn't obvious to you guys. Okay, I shouldn't be hard on you because of how horribly animated this is. So I put like a red bruise on his shoulder to show that he's injured, and for some reason he has like kind of false Super Saiyan-ish, I don't know, transformation, had a transformation. And then he starts glitching out. This is kind of how, what was it? I was referencing how Goku Black had to go back to his timeline because, well, he didn't belong in the main one. So Slash, since he didn't belong here, he got sent back. It was basically an excuse not to kill Eston, which he could have just died here. It was an excuse for me to make Mephiles clone Eston, to reference how Mephiles can take other people's shadows and become like them, like how he did to the character named Shadow. And then he puts what's his name, Eston, in this kind of like dark cage seal. And then this character, who is from my other kind of private series named, what's his name, Liss. He shows up and he frees him, giving him a new transformation with the energy he gave him. This is an accident, and this is not something he gave to him on purpose. But, whatever. Fire Eston is in small reference to Mario Bros. Z, which is like Fire Sonic, or Burning Sonic, as some other people call him. Meh. See, what's his name? Liss is one of the first characters I ever made up, and I thought he was kind of cool to have him in. I'll explain the story some other time. Well, probably later. So he goes into the portal, and since the portal is like multiversal kinda, it sent him to a completely different universe instead of sending him after this. And this is when I show off a villain who has no, like, reason to show up at all, only just because I was originally supposed to end the thing here and just have this character kill Eston, but I didn't. This dark character is named Sonic Black, based off Goku Black. How creative, I know. Whatever. This is showing his like base form abilities, and this is his old model, his old Stick Notes model. He has a completely different one now. He was barely redesigned, but I just used the better DX models. He pummels and beats up Fire Eston, and he shoots a key ball at him. And then, for some reason, Eston turns into a stupid Power Ranger, and he also gets sent to a different universe. This is because the creator really wanted him to be, what's his name? Power Ranger for some reason. And the other suit is supposed to be Cody, but I decided like halfway through the thing that he's just a different character. Also, this character, this evil Sonic thing named Xenophane, or EXE, whichever, I don't care. I think I should have just removed it. I might make a better version of the film where I just cut this part out. I don't like this part at all. But since it's sadly part of the story, it kind of doesn't make sense what happens. Well, later, after this whole stupid fight scene. I hate the scene a lot. It's really dumb, and I kind of don't like it a lot. It's kind of obvious. I just don't like this part. These other two characters, that green Sonic, I kind of forgot what he was. However, this Vegeta with purple hair and a black suit is supposed to be my friend, my other actual friend. OC, I can't remember his name. He was dark something, whatever. He's got a black, red scythe, stuff like that. And then this character, Seshir, what could I say about him? This is my version of him, and he does not have the same stuff as he originally did. So he's not like a demon or anything. In this one, he's an alien. That's why in my Mephiles vs. Excelsior video that I made, that's way better than this. I say in the title AU, which stands for Alternate Universe, to show that these are completely different versions of the character. If you watch that, please go watch that instead of this. Anyway, so Excelsior takes him to this other place. Fun fact, this little background was meant for a completely different animation. It was some music video or something. Oh, something I forgot to say because of how pointless and dumb it is. Because, well, I can't talk about everything. This transformation that Eston is in is called Golden. Yeah, like Golden Frieza, except worse. Well, I could explain who this is now. In my version, or in my other show called The Crazy Crossover, my series, he's kind of like basically the son of Mephiles, kind of. I know, it's like really weird. And he, Liss is a good guy. However, he's got like some like dark stuff, but they never show up here because he's just supposed to be a cameo. He's not actually important here. Okay, so this purple character is a character named Gosan. He's made by one of my other actual friends. He really wanted him in this series, and he is supposed to be part of the lore from literally the beginning, but he barely shows up here. I might make an animation that like is the beginning and shows how the story actually went. I also planned on making a remake where like it's kind of like it's like a really better remake where there's like actual voice acting, maybe, and like actual animation and actual storytelling, but whatever, however. So that's, and then the green ball shows up and Slashes comes back. See, fun fact, I made this entire thing within like 2 years and a half. So the part where Eston got captured by the purple Vegeta dude is in year 2. The everything before that was in year 1. So after those like couple weeks or whatever, or all that time, what's his name, Slashes had been training. What was it? The plot twist was that the animation does not indicate is that they are in Slash's universe, so that's why he's not teleporting anywhere. Also, for some reason, all three of the Cody, or what's his name, Codus, Eston, and Gosan like fuse kind of like Dragon Ball Z, and it's actually kind of cool. Not gonna lie. It's not my favorite thing ever, but it makes Eston a better character in my opinion. A little bit. Man, I'm very mixed on this thing. I'm sorry. So Slashes, for some reason, cannot beat this fusion because it's 3 people, I guess. So he goes into kind of like a Super Saiyan 3, even though it's Phase 2, whatever. So he goes to like full power, all red and whatever. I really like the pale dark red that he has. Probably very unique stuff. Let's just say I have plans for this red character. Oh, and then the fusion goes into the same burning form. You see, a cool idea that I had for the fusion is that the fusion can use all the forms that every single member of the fusion has. So it has like Gosan's green form, Eston's fire form, and if like later on, since Codus gets his own form at the end, it would also have that form. So for some reason, Mephiles goes looking for, what was it, Slashes, I think, or just his members in general, and the 3 main characters meet up, and they meet him there to attack and ambush him. Like I said, 8 weeks, so they've been training for all that time. And like, although their training was pretty alright and whatever, they're still not enough. So, Gosan goes on the first attack because from the scene where he destroys that big robot when he first appears, it's to like show that he's pretty powerful, and he is pretty powerful. Like, in terms of physical, well, he's actually, fun fact, a little bit faster than Eston. Oh, and then this orange form is supposed to be his hyper form. Kind of looks like Halloweeny. That's not intentional, but it's kind of, I think it's kind of cool. So, due to it being hyper, it's really powerful, so it actually blows up Mephiles' body. However, due to him being, Mephiles, he could regenerate. This is nothing for him. Fun fact, the entire film, Mephiles is actually holding back because due to the stuff he's been dealing with in the other universes, since he's been conquering other universes, he actually wants kind of a small challenge every time he goes to a different place, you know? See, this is the part where, like, this was, like I said, this was during the year 2 of creating things. So this is where some of the stuff was increased, but there's a lot of mistakes, like the part where they're clashing beams and it takes too long. This right here was a huge animation mistake. Look, Goshan is bigger than Mephiles, and these two characters show up. That purple one, fun fact, he is the human character in the very beginning, the one that Mephiles fights. And this dark green one, well, he is Eston from an alternate timeline. Supposedly, he's from a timeline where slashes begin. Or, like, actually one. This gray character is my main OC nowadays. His name is Leviticus. He's the name of the YouTube channel, in case you didn't know. He's probably my best character. For some reason, GT Goku is here. Also, that blue character, the one with the gray arm and all that, that's a robot version of Kodos. Okay, this is kind of an interesting villain. This is what my friend called the Levamp. Hold on, real quick. Fun fact, the reason why it skipped there is because there was really a fight, but I accidentally didn't save it, and so it kind of got deleted. Anyways, Levamp is is part of a species called vamps. They're not actually vampires, but it's just, they're kind of just called that because, well, some of them require flesh and all that. Anyways, that guy with the robot arm just got deleted. This purple guy next to my character Leviticus, his name is Phistophilis. He's another friend. He's a character of another friend of mine. 2 months later, wow. See, Leviticus and what is his name? Phistophilis are feeling around for a signal, and Leviticus feels Mephiles' power rising because he discovered something, and Mephiles is going to do it. So they go to this planet. I forgot what the planet was called. They go to the planet where Mephiles is up to, right? And so Phistophilis and Leviticus leave because they kind of just don't care. They only teleported them so that they could deal with it. So Levamp comes back, and he starts fighting these two. See, the main thing with all of the vamps in the series, they're also from Crazy Crossover, but they're in other things as well. The thing about them is that their aura color is like a lime green. See, that black emerald you saw is not a fake emerald. It is this thing called Blue Cut. It's a gem created by Mephiles. It increases the power of anyone who takes it. It's pretty much exactly like a fake emerald, except it gives you nearly the exact same powers as Dark Sonic, if not literally the power of Dark Sonic. See, look, it transforms it into a dark transformation. It is in like black and blue because, well, yeah. So Eston friggin' drop kicks him. See, check this out. The reason why Eston starts like flashing blue and he goes back into base form is due to the planet being full and literally corrupted with the blue cut. So it drains positive energy people's energy. So if you have a normal energy, or you're like a normal person or whatever, your energy will be drained and you'll be slowly like stripped of your energy. However, if you're evil and powerless like the vamps, you're like corrupted and given more. Especially if you have like the injections and if you've ever eaten the crystals of the blue cut. See, this little punch thing that Gosan does is called the Dragon's Wrath. Something like that. I made it up, and I thought he was awesome. I still think he's awesome. So, the Levamp, because that's just his name. The rest of his species have different names. He has a weird name because he doesn't care about names. He gets, like, one-shotted by Leviticus. I don't know why Leviticus came back. It was just to show him off more. Because, well, he's my main OC, and he's, well, very important. Fun fact, although he looks very similar, he is not one of those, Sonic.exe stuff. He's, like, not at all one of that. He's his own race and all that, so, whatever. The things on his eyes, although they look like tears, they are actually birthmarks. And the reason why he has that yellow thing on his ear is because he has the God of Destruction earring from Dragon Ball Super. Go watch that. It's a slightly better show than this. I mean, it's okay. It's way better in terms of writing, kinda, and also in terms of animation. But that show has some weird stuff too. So Mephiles finally shows his like base form, kinda, for the first time. So, because we've been seeing him, well, not first time. I just realized his second time. You could tell that I have a different model here because, well, this is when I increased, so I started using different models for the characters that I actually liked. So the reason why Mephiles has like a grandiose, like massive, huge transformation into his crystallized, even though we've been seeing his crystallized this entire time, is both as a reveal to people who don't know what Sonic is, that this is who the main villain was the whole time. It's also just to show, because that like thing he came out of just now earlier is like this chamber, kind of like the time chamber from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. And he was training from like, what was it, 20, 50 years within like 6 hours, something like that. And he got like super powerful instantly. So that's why he has this aura, to show that he's like a way more powerful than he originally was. Before, he could have easily beaten all of these characters, but now it's definitely nothing. As shown here, as Eston is in his super form and he starts attempting to hurt Mephiles, but well, it's Eston. Mephiles all there like, bruh. And then Eston finally stops, and then Mephiles whips out this huge, like, what was it? Kind of like a Gala gun, kind of from Dragon Ball Z. Gala gun, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's all like bright and purple, all that good stuff. And fun fact, that was a weak blast considering it did nothing to Eston. All that good stuff. So I did this Keyblade Goku Black thing and I stabbed him. I don't like putting gore, kinda. I'll show stab wounds and I'll show a limb being cut off, but I wanted to show this as a serious scene for our main character, for you to feel fear or joy if you're like me because you hate this character Eston, which is what I felt it. That's why I made the blood a dark red, because when you make it like bright red and all that, not only is it kind of unrealistic, it's also just too much. Mephiles is supposed to have black blood, but purple blood is different. And then he starts like blasting and kind of like torturing, what's his name, future Eston, I guess. Or just alternate Eston, whatever, however, I don't care. Then he like shoots him through the chest like a death beam, except non-lethal. Because he was literally just going to erase future Eston right here, but he doesn't. He sees Eston go into his super form again. Somehow. And then Mephiles decides to stop messing around and show off his training. And he goes into Golden Mephiles, which is cool. Another huge animation error that happens here that really angers me is that earlier he was Super Eston, now he's Golden Eston. You see, I made this small scene. The reason why he cuts from Super to Golden is because I made this small scene way before, like, year 2. So that's why it's a little different here. So I was trying really hard from the training scene to here, well, kind of to like show, and then it cuts again real weird for kind of no reason. Because, like I said, this small section of where he goes into this transformation, where Mephiles goes into the transformation, is because this transformation was completely made up by me, and it is called Kurai. I made up the colors, all of that. It is heavily inspired by Black Frieza, but is it Black Frieza or Frieza Black? Black Frieza, and he kind of I wanted to show how like powerful he's gotten. So he just does a quick energy, like, supernova, death ball, whatever, and he throws it at Eston. All the Dragon Ball Z villain stuff, and then like a nuclear explosion, dust storm shows up, and it's poorly framed as it keeps flashing and flashing and flashing. It really bothered me, but whatever, I'll deal with it. Also, like I said earlier, I'm slowing down this footage so I can talk over it, but this scene's pretty slow, but it's a lot more entertaining than earlier. And then he's just punching him like a bag to like get some extra satisfaction and to show that he's just more powerful. So he teleports and does his own thing. So Gosan, after he got sent, he literally got yeeted earlier. He helps out Koda's fight. Dark King Merlin, I guess. I'll call him whatever. I don't care. I don't care about these characters. Most of them. And then somehow, with like a laser wound in his chest, what's his name, Future Eston comes and helps. That's another thing about that I don't like. The only difference between Future Eston and normal Eston is that Future Eston has a scar, he has darker fur, slightly, and he has a sword. This character shows up out of nowhere. He's another one of my kind of friends. Yeah, he's my friend. Yeah. And this character is named Russ. I don't know what he's referencing. And he gets obliterated for no reason. So Mephiles shows his betrayal. Well, no, he views Dark Eston throwing his sword as betrayal. Not Dark Eston, what's his name? Dark King Merlin throws a sword to show that he gives up and he's not working for Mephiles. And Mephiles like, nuh-uh. So he stabs him in the chest with his bare hands. So the other two start like hitting him with like combos. Fun fact, that green form that Kodesh goes into is something like I made up. Also, this stupid thing, that orange stuff he had, what's his name, Eston? It was this prototype armor, and his creator really, really wanted it, so I made an excuse that that's the reason he goes into this black and orange form that is actually kind of cool, not gonna lie, called Divine Eston. And now they are slightly equal. Fun fact, Mephiles is still holding back because this transformation is way more powerful than Black Frieza. I don't care how you think that's overpowered. And I don't care. Mephiles is my favorite. Is one of my favorite villains, if not my number one favorite villain. I've said that multiple times, probably in my commentary. No, in my post on YouTube, but whatever. I wish this fight scene where they were like fighting Dragon Ball Z style lasted a lot longer, so it'd be cool. This scene is kind of cool. I like this. The way his eyes glow as he's kind of torturing him. His aura glows powerful. And Eston runs out of his transformation because, well, Eston sucks. That's why. I'm joking. I forgot why. Mephiles gives up. This scene is called The Truce. Mephiles gives up. The reason why he just stops all that is because he realizes that it'd be a huge waste to waste his large amount of power on some weakling. Also, Russ surrenders, and also Dark King Merlin was healed. 2 months later, normal Eston is training with Future Eston's sword, and he's actually pretty good. However, due to the timeline completely changing and the timeline was completely fixed, Future Eston's timeline no longer exists, kinda. So he fuses with the main Eston, and he kinda becomes more powerful. This is the end. Alright, this is gonna sound really sarcastic and really mean, but I am genuine, from the bottom of my heart, kinda. This is my favorite scene, my favorite part of the entire series, of this entire movie, which was making the credits. I really had a lot of fun making the credits. Kind of obvious, but you could see their alternate selves in each thing. This is the names of all of the creators and characters. Not only do they have alternate versions of themselves, Kodesh should have the future one of himself, but they also are their final form is shown right next to him. This is a cool little nod that I did for all of them because I thought it was cool. And it was a kind of a small tribute to the entire making of the thing, because this was a very long project to make. Remember, it was 2.5 years to make. But I had a lot of fun. This scene, this little one is probably my favorite, like, little part of the whole thing. Because me and the friend who made Phistopheles are pretty big friends. What was it? He has his own series coming out with Phistopheles coming out some other time when he has the time. Sadly, the creator for Slash was, he kind of, because, fun fact, all of this was made at school. Like, every single time we got to recess, I would try to do this as much as I can. Sometimes I wouldn't do it, sometimes I did it. Whatever, however. Fun fact, Mephiles, the reason why he doesn't have a faded transformations was just because. This is a joke. This is to show, like, the two of the, like, weakest villains in the whole thing, and Bubbity Bubbada. Fun fact, Levi's not my actual name. That's, like, someone else's. That's something else. That was the entire Green Flame film. Everyone who created characters and, like, contributed their, like, stuff to it really, really like this film. And they like it way more than I do. But that's fine. I've grown to respect it a little bit more and more, but I liked the other aspects about it, like the kind of the production that went into it. That's probably what I like more. So I'm gonna talk about some of the, like, behind the scenes stuff, kinda. It's like more the stuff. Well, is it? Like I said, all of this was made in 2 years. All that. Well, what else? What did I not say? Oh yeah. So the way that we made all of the characters, except for, like, Mephiles and all that. Like, what was it? Specifically for Gosan, it was really cool when we made him because his creator drew a picture of how he looked, and I just made a stick notes model of how the picture was. I really liked how I did that. It actually made me feel kind of good to give stuff to people. However, the other two, like Codus and Eston, they were basically just like I was on the Sticky Notes app and I would get, like, Shadow and Sonic models, and I would tell them which one, which this, what color, what spine, all that. And that's how those characters were made. Okay, so sorry about the earlier part where I just started talking about Slash and then I didn't continue, so I'm gonna continue it here. Sad part is that the creator of Slashes, Slash, sorry, that's his actual name. In the first year, I think, yeah, during the first year of the creation of the Green Flame, he sadly got homeschooled. Yeah, and I thought that was kind of, now that I think about it, it's kind of sad. But me and him would kind of fight, and we weren't, like, super along. We were not that close. He just wanted to see an animation of something he thought was kind of cool. Now we're gonna talk about the really bad stuff. So, my main huge problem with this animation is, yes, it is my longest animation that I've ever made. But to me, it's the worst one I've ever made. Not because I didn't like animating it, which, yeah, okay, I did. I did not like animating it. But my main problem is that it has a big story, right? And this story is not conveyed through the animation or the visuals at all. Like, you don't understand anything. If, like, I didn't tell you anything or how anything worked, you would not know what's going on. I bet you my explanation in this commentary does not explain anything to you at all either. I'd probably make a separate video explaining the lore. Yeah, I should do that. Maybe I should. Maybe. I don't know. I'll figure that out. That's probably my main problem with the Green Flame. Yeah, to me it sucks. Another thing, what's his name? Eston is kind of a dumb character, too. Like, he just gets power up, no build up, he's kind of a nothing character. Kinda. But there's just something about him that's, like, compared to other characters that's like so different. I'm not saying that he's a good character. I'm just saying that he's kind of weirdly not horrible. I mean, yeah, he is horrible, but he's the creator. He's what's his name? The creator, because I don't want to say their names, even though their names are in the credits. But whatever. That's their fault. The creator of Eston was the main person who was kind of in charge of the story. See, I would say a lot of stuff while making that like I was in control. I do everything. I'm the guy who lifts all the stuff. I get to choose, even though I was even though I was kind of following most of his story. Sometimes we would play, because we were very young. We would like play in real life, like little kids, and play pretend, and that's how we made up the story. Well, mostly. I think I had more fun doing that than animating it, because, well, when we did it, like, play pretend, it was, like, actually kind of well written, kind of better. But, that's how it is. Sadly, I don't think a lot of the people who were involved with this, such as the creator of Gosan, Codus, and Tristan, are all in like different schools, and I doubt any of them are friends anymore. Yeah, that's the sad part. There is supposed to be a sequel for Green Flame, but I'm having a hard time knowing if I actually will make part 2. I have like 2 seconds of part 2 ready for the beginning. However, if I ever do make part 2, be warned, because I think you'll probably be a way better film than this, or really worse, one of the two. Stay tuned.